This is sadly the final episode of this magnificent cash game.
Well, we keep on putting out the hits as far
Yeah.
as the cash game lineups are concerned. It's been nuts.
Ken has, of course, just run rampant over these players so far anyway. But there's still time for these guys to get that money back.
The Vig is done all right as well. He's up a little bit there. Terminator was up quite a bit. Now he's back to about even.
Ken has absorbed the Terminator,
He has
much like the Borg.
6,500 in front of him, and he started with
1,500.
1,500, yeah.
Yeah.
Action Aaron has not been faring too well, neither has Snuggy so far. And Aaron with clearly the best hand in this scenario.
Yeah, but there's only one ace left. Vig just lets it go. The old limp under the gun, fold it,
With
spot.
Jack 7 of hearts, yeah.
Yeah, well, it is often dominated, although in sorts of suits he was dominated.
And why would Ken ever fold? I mean,
Really?
with any hand, considering how he's running, he must feel like he can't lose. That's
Well-
a good flop for Aaron. I'm gonna call that one. That's my analysis.
Terminator does have top pair. Might get in a little bit of trouble here.
Depending on Aaron's sizing, Terminator often balks at big sizing, and Aaron just checks it.
Aaron gives everyone a chance to catch up. Now Terminator's going to have to believe he has the best hand.
Snuggy's got a 3 also.
I was going to say, Snuggy may think he has the best hand. This may go bet call before Aaron even does anything. Let's see. Snuggy is
It's a pretty bad board for
just
ace
going
3
to
of
stay out
clubs
of the
there.
way. Yeah, that's fair.
Now this is an interesting and fun decision for Aaron.
Aaron only with 860 left. Looks like he's thinking about a call there.
If you just call, you can kind of rep the naked ace of spades.
Yeah. Or, an 8.
Or maybe like 2 10s with a 10 of spades.
You could very reasonably just have an 8 with...
Looks like he's raising it up right now.
Yeah, this is probably not going to work out. Yeah, like Terminator doesn't like it. Terminator's gotten pretty good at folding when he's behind.
I mean, that's a pretty standard fold spot when Aaron takes that line. It's rare for Aaron to have a bluff there.
That's true. That said, Terminator just used to, in previous cash game episodes that we've done, he's often called, big spots just have no interest in folding. And this whole session, we've seen him folding top pair and better pretty quickly and easily.
Yeah, he's making some big folds, that's for sure.
He's been right every time, too.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been good.
He did make that one miraculous fold with top with the ace king.
And the queen jack fold was also
That was
quite miraculous.
Quite nice.
He's been a bit beaten down by Ken recently, so he feels like it's not fair right now, I'm sure.
Yeah. But he's actually saved a lot of money that, a lot of people would not have saved for sure.
And these are the ranges we've grown accustomed to on Poker Time.
That is absolutely right. Joseph with the ace-8 call on the button. Batiste has a normal, actual hand that normal people play. And
I would call the
spots.
small blind with this hand for sure.
And I would check the big blind. So
Yeah.
nice job, Vig. All right, so we have, some play that, some people might call somewhat standard. Need to have some of that.
Well, there is a flop for Batiste. Flops
Yes.
3 7s.
No one else really has anything.
Nobody
at all.
has anything. So that's the problem.
I like the bet out here by Batiste, but I don't think it's going to get any action at all unless someone decides to lose their mind, which has been known to happen.
Yeah, that happens once in a while.
But
Nope, that's the bad news. Not what Batiste wanted to see.
He's looking for Jack 10, 10, 8, any 9. Those would all be good things to call him with.
Yeah,
Or people just getting stubborn.
which we've seen a lot of that.
Yes. Look at that. Ken rules them all. He's the one ring to rule them all.
The Destroyer of Worlds.
You
Ken.
must take him to Mordor and cast him into the lava pit or whatever, the ocean of fire.
Batiste, by the way, is quietly having quite a good session himself.
Yeah.
He's up quite a bit. He's no Ken, but
I mean, that's
how
not
can you
fair.
how can you
it's
be
not
Ken?
fair. Ken says, not this time. Snuggy with the reasonable hand to open with. Action Aaron.
with those.
Yeah.
Somebody folded ace 10 just now, either Joseph or Batiste.
I have a feeling the Vig is not going to find a fold with ace 9 to your eternal. Oh, looks like he's going to 3-bet it, though.
He's
he's
just
not.
going to call, which is a little bit strange because he's been squeezing a ton.
Yeah.
This feels like a good candidate. Maybe he just feels like he's worn out his welcome as far as squeezing is concerned.
Maybe. Would have worked once again. Snuggy will flop best here. Action Aaron with a pair and a backdoor flush draw.
And he makes 2 pair.
Whoa.
Everybody checks and Aaron makes 2
Why
pair.
did Snuggy I guess because of the queen.
Yeah, and now Snuggy's going to start betting it. That's reasonable.
It is. Action Aaron is going to... Is that a raise? Yep.
Yeah, 250. Is that what it was?
I don't think Snuggy can even call
200.
this. I mean, we could decide that Action Aaron has a a draw. There's a lot of
called,
draws.
he
out
already
there.
he already called.
It's not unreasonable to call, but we're usually beat.
All right, 9-10 got there now. That's a problem.
Spades did not. 9-10 would often be bet on the flop by Action Aaron, but spades is the only thing we can reasonably beat here. Maybe 4-5.
It feels like Aaron has a set of deuces the way he's played the hand.
Yeah, he could have a set of trays also. I guess Snuggie calls right away. At least I shouldn't say all. Almost all the draws missed at least.
Yeah,
It's not crazy. Like if there's some really bad cards that could have come in, right? Like
right.
the 10 of spades could have come in or something, and it's like everything gets it. The 6 of spades.
Yep, and you're right. Spades are more likely than 9-10 because they came in on the turn, and Aaron didn't bet the flop.
And we've really seen Aaron raise with flush draws in the past.
Yep.
Not all the time, but sometimes. And, barrel the river.
Yep.
Aaron's definitely shown up with not having it when he's represented strength in the past.
He's been strangely tight for himself this game, though, even though he did just show up with 3 deuce.
Agreed. Some clean run out for him, which was nice. He got value on the river.
Snuggie's going to try to make that money back.
Actually, Aaron's going to try and make more of that money from Snuggie. By the way, he's back to Snuggie. Notice that. No longer Snugworm.
Yep. And Joseph he's been making some strange limps that we don't usually see him make with kind of bad hands. He often has the tightest range at the table, but he's kind of been mixing it up a little bit more in this session.
Is he getting bored? Is he watching guys like Ken play and he think like, I got to play more like that? That happens.
I don't imagine that's happening to Joseph. He plays a lot of poker. I think he's pretty comfortable with himself and his style.
The VIG raises it up to 100 over these limps, and it looks like he's going to get way too many callers for what he would want.
Not Joseph, though.
Nope. Batista's going to call with King 6 suited. That seems optimistic.
I think he thinks all 3 of these opponents could spew it off.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
That's a reason to call in position here.
Action Aaron with probably the best flop for everyone, but the VIG flops pretty well, too. By the way, Batista's got top pair, although he may be able to just get away from it.
600 into 400.
Wow. Action Aaron suddenly in a weird spot right away.
If Batiste folds, it is an indictment on this bet.
I mean, Batista's going to fold, isn't he?
I will find out.
Let's see. Action Aaron, by the way, could just shove. This is his only option. He can't call.
Folding is fine.
Yeah, it's really fine. On a paired board, I think it's fine. Although you're almost never beat at this point, but you can be turned dead or get there and still lose on the river. Batiste just says whatever. This is an easy fold. Looks like. Well,
yeah, he's letting it go. I mean, that seems like a pretty obvious sizing problem for the VIG there when he makes it that big and he can't get called by a 6.
That's fair. Or a flush draw.
Yeah.
Now, from his point of view, I guess like he wants to fold out the flush draw with overs. But he sure doesn't want to fold out the 6 with a good kicker.
Yeah, and like I doubt he's folding out many better hands than his hand.
I agree. He might fold out 9s, and he might fold out 10s.
Yeah, although those hands aren't very likely considering the action.
They all limped in. You're right. Very unlikely.
Which means there's a lot more deuces in his opponent's ranges than there should be, by the way.
Yeah. Although they did call a $100 raise, too. I'm just saying. So it's a little bit less. Some of those deuces are going to go away. But I guess he just wanted to pick up the pot as it was. He succeeded. He is the VIG. He's only supposed to take so much as the VIG, you know? You're going to play that King 10 off.
Got to play that 6 deuce off if you're the Terminator. My favorite hand is Ken's hand because it's Ken, and he always wins.
He also has a nice hand.
Yeah.
He probably has the most playable hand out of anyone, in fact, I would say.
Queen Jack is pretty playable.
Sure, but...
See what I said?
It ain't over yet, buddy. It's Ken. You think Ken's going to find a way to lose this hand? Are you crazy?
Ken's going to win the hand.
Of course Ken's going to win the hand. Joseph just checks top pair into the whole world.
He was the original raiser, too.
I am shocked.
Would have been very, very normal for him to bet there.
Ken picks up a straight draw. Joseph picks up a flush draw.
The VIG picks up the second nut flush draw.
Yeah, and Ken's going to bet it. That is reasonable. Like, he doesn't want to have to check call here. Joseph with top pair. And Joseph just folds.
Whoa.
Joseph folded top pair with the flush draw. I cannot believe it. I think this table is cowed by Ken.
Maybe he believes in the luck of the Ken.
That seemed... I almost wonder if we got the cards right on Joseph.
Yeah,
he checked the flop and then just folds the
Considering
turn.
that he checked the flop, having raised pre-flop, he's crazy under-repped there.
That said, we kind of never get the cards wrong. Like, there was that one time early in the session where there was a problem, and Terminator's just going to fold. Everyone folds. The VIG folds, the king high flush draw, I should say, and that is it.
And did you see Terminator just saw Ken's hand? You can rewind a little bit to see his expression. You saw that he was actually ahead, and he's like, I just can't beat this guy.
Yeah.
Like, his expression, he just like did this little blink that was kind of dying inside a little bit, you know?
I think Joseph folded because Ken bet, and there were 3 hearts out there, and even though he had the jack of hearts, it just wasn't good enough. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't want to get involved.
Well, you could be drawing dead.
Sure, but you also have deeply underrepped your hand. You had top pair. I don't know why Joseph didn't bet the flop. I'm very confused by that.
I think you can call once on the turn and reevaluate on the river if he bets again.
Absolutely. Ken is almost certainly going to only bet again if he improves.
Or if he already has a flush.
Oh, sure. If he's got you, he might bet again, too. But
Hey, Ken's going to raise it up with the king 8 of hearts.
Okay. You know what? Everything this guy does is gold, so
yeah,
it's cool.
The Vig's not going to fold the queen 9 of hearts. I know that.
You are correct.
So
hearts could get... Wow.
Ken is dominated in every way possible. Or no, he's not.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
he's
got the
hearts.
Vig. He's got the Vig dominated. Okay. But the kings are dominated.
Queen 9-8. That's an interesting flop. Monster flop for the Vig.
Gut shots for everybody except for Ken, who has an 8. And the Vig with 2 pair. Ken's going to bet the 8. This is ambitious.
Well, there are a lot of bad cards that can come. If he's ahead, he's often not going to stay ahead.
If he's ahead, he's never getting action.
That's okay. He can deny.
Well, Snuggie called. Never mind. He could get action from worse hand.
I guess so.
Terminator called also. Well, the Vig makes the nuts.
Yeah, the Vig is going to win this hand.
That's a good analysis.
And it checks right through, which is, of course, one of the problems in this spot.
And the Vig has every card covered, so there's like no way to get paid.
He needs someone to have. Well, he doesn't. I mean, even diamonds now is probably not going to call.
It sucks when the 9 comes. You just like can't get paid.
And look, I mean, no one has anything. No one even has a pair anymore. It's just king highs everywhere. Ken is counterfeited there, and that will do it. Vig is unsuccessful in making a lot of money that time. Although honestly, I think if he puts in a raise or shows an aggressive action almost ever, it's probably not going to be able to make any more money.
His opponents just didn't have good enough hands for him to get paid at any point. And when it comes queen 9-9, then you're either chopping or you're never getting paid now, and it sucks.
I mean, maybe someone can have a 9 and call.
Yeah,
that's possible, but that's what you're down to, right? Or someone could get really stubborn with ace high, which is also possible in this game. We've seen it.
It is possible.
But that's all we got.
Still a nice pot for the Vig.
Yeah, Ken bet 125, and there were 3 callers.
Yeah.
Not too shabby. Wow,
and
Ken lost. I'm confused. Ken lost.
The Vig's going to limp the queen 6 suited +1 now.
Well, sure.
Terminator's going to race to 25, as he's been doing with a hand. Aaron's going to call with the hand.
Some people may have issues with the sizing.
Yeah.
Just going to say that. Leave it there.
Hand selection.
Sizing.
Is a thing.
Both things. All right, here we go.
Hey, look at that. Terminator knows what he's doing, although he's not going to get any action.
The Vig's going to have to decide to get sticky with 2 backdoors and an overcard. It looked like the way Vig checked that he had no interest in playing the hand, though. Let's see.
He likes to make him sweat, though.
He does. He's one of those guys. Talks a lot, takes a lot of time. And there's some players who do all this and actually don't fold, but almost everyone folds once they start doing the whole song and dance. You know?
Often it's a general tactic to try to get people to play less aggressively against you in the future, saying, like, I'm going to catch you, buddy. But if you fold every time, it doesn't really work that way.
Yeah. But, I think some players believe it.
Yeah.
It probably does work a little bit.
Okay, yeah. It wouldn't work on us, I suppose.
Well,
no. But
no, I see that as a green light, personally.
Yeah.
Like, run this guy over, please. Batiste missed out on getting a hand that time. Oh, I take it back.
You were so wrong.
They preserved his hand. Terminator with an actual good starting hand. It happened.
And he made it 25 again. And
Ken with a better one.
Better one. Yeah, because that's just how that's just how it goes.
Let's see what Terminator does here. He has a really pretty hand. They are fairly deep.
Ken made it, 125?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you could play it either way.
We've seen Ken light 3-bet.
We have.
Multiple times.
We've also seen him just check back a lot. I think it's reasonable to call here.
Yeah.
This is a very pretty hand.
There are a lot of good flops for this hand.
Also, if you're Terminator, you open so many hands. This is one of the best hands we can open for Terminator in terms of range. I think we're supposed to call.
Well, now we're just going to lose probably.
Let's see if Ken even decides to bet. He does. How much is he betting? 200, and that is it. Ken feels so good when the guy just folds.
Oh, yeah.
Flop.
When the guy calls, you're like, well,
I guess I lose.
That's not fun.
Yeah. This is one of those spots where it's much easier to flat or really float as a Terminator if you're in position, but out of position against Ken, it just seems like a bad idea.
Yeah, and Ken has plenty of overpairs.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But you could float once with the back doors and the overs, see if he bets again, take a shot if he doesn't, and also improve.
True.
But out of position, So much harder to make that work.
Also, Terminator has lost a few chips, and he's not that deep to have so much maneuverability anymore.
Fair enough.
King Jack again.
Gonna limp it this time. Because he didn't like how that went last time when he raised it.
And Joseph has expanded the range.
Yeah, he has. Joseph really has not gotten many hands, I think, as part of it, too, from his point of view.
Yeah, that's true.
He's gotten almost nothing. We've seen him with very few premiums or really even playable hands. We're going to really make it suspenseful, this flop.
I knew it was going to be that flop.
Snuggie flop's great.
Yeah. The Vig has a 3.
And that is it.
Aaron's got a 5s.
Yeah, those are gone. Quickly, everyone folds, it looks like. Yep, there goes the 4-3 in the muck. Snuggie gets to win. Snuggie wishing he had raised.
Yeah, he might have gotten similar action.
Yeah.
Snuggie's been having a bad session where he feels like when he puts in a lot of action, he loses, and when he flops something, everybody just folds.
Yeah.
Those are frustrating times.
Yes, they are. Also, where you limp with the king jack and you win a small pot. You raise with the king jack, you lose a big pot.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff which stays on your mind sometimes as a cash game player, having been there.
Yep. Hey, Aaron's got another real hand. He's had a couple recently.
Yeah.
But he's going to let Joseph sweat for one reason or another.
I don't know why. He's like, can you believe it? I had a queen and a 9.
It was a
They
9
were-
and a deuce. Oh, Joseph's had the queen 9.
Oh.
Terminator's going to give Action Aaron some action out of the big blind here.
And he's going to flop a gutter.
Good flop for both players considering their holdings.
I mean, not that good for Terminator.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, it could be worse.
Joseph checks again, and now...
Who's Joseph?
Oh, yeah, Action Aaron checks again. Terminator turns double gutted. I don't know who's got what anymore. What's happened to me?
That was an opportunity to bet for Terminator, I think, with the double gutter.
I'm really surprised he didn't. He could check raise here, though. Actually, I kind of love a check raise here.
I kind of like Aaron's check back on the flop against Terminator. He's not going to believe his... Oh!
What is happening?
Did he not realize he had a double gutter?
Oh, you know what? He didn't have a double gutter.
Oh.
I'm realizing it. He just had a single gutter.
Oh. You
Still,
made me think he had
I
a
know.
double gutter.
I'm wrong about everything. You know that. You've been seeing me get everything wrong this last minute.
I was just
and you
hoping not
believed.
to drive the train for 1 second. I just wanted to like take a little break from driving the train.
I'd like to apologize to all the viewers for getting that so wrong. It is weird though that Terminator didn't bet the turn or make an aggressive action, I should say, on the turn after the check back. Although it turns out it was correct. Action Aaron was definitely not going anywhere.
Nope.
I think you raise, he's still going to feel obligated to call.
Petit's gonna just limp the ace
Wow.
jack. That's a strange play that we don't see him do very often.
Is he hoping the Vig is going to put in a big raise, maybe?
I don't know if ace jack's good enough to hope for that.
Yeah, I don't know either. What's going to happen there?
The Vig has an open ender now,
Snuggie with top pair.
and another open ender for Terminator.
Yeah.
Look at all these open enders.
Ken has a gutter, and he's going to call. I don't love the call, although he does have, as it turns out, the best backdoor flush draw. Still,
Sure. Yeah,
that's all I got. That's all I got.
Nobody gets anything on the turn.
Interesting to see if anyone decides. Looks like Terminator's going to stay aggressive here.
That's cool. He can rep two pair.
75
He can rep two pair.
I think this is a pretty clear fold for Ken.
Oh, yeah.
There's guys behind you. There's 2 hearts out there. There's really only 3 cards where you're even going to feel good. By the way, 3 cards do make the 7-8 a better straight
Wow, he's
than
going
you.
to call.
There's people behind you can also have 7-8. This feels very, very questionable, but
Sluggy
so
also
be it.
calls. Man, Ken must just feel invincible to make that call.
Oh, look at that card. Ken hits.
But
the
Terminator
miracle.
hits.
Of course
Terminator
he does.
hits as well.
That's what I'm saying. This is exactly why you want to be careful with calling in there, where you getting there isn't always what you want, especially 4-ways.
Wow, what a spot. Terminator finally has Ken in a spot.
Yeah. The question is, how much is Terminator going to get here?
I think he can get the double up.
I mean, Ken probably should just call with 2 guys behind him and 7-8 getting there, right?
I mean, I don't know. I think you can raise.
what are you going to get called by?
A set, potentially 2 pair. Terminator's frustrated with Ken.
I don't know. Ken is going to raise.
Looks like 500.
Yep. Looks like we're going to have a great chance at the double because Terminator's got the nuts. He's obviously going to move in. Let's see how he does it. Really giving it a fake think. Oh, I got to check the cards.
I mean, you do want to make sure you have the nuts before you move in.
That's fine.
He would never move in with 2 pair, though. That's the problem for Ken.
Oh, no. He would. I don't even know if he'd move in with the same straight.
I think he probably would, but
against
it's close.
Ken? Against Ken when he's been I mean, I think he would probably just call. He shouldn't move in with the same straight, right? He should just call with the same straight.
Yeah, I think that's correct, but I don't know. Sometimes people try to get max value.
Okay, so we know Terminator's going to move in, right? So one of the things we can know as a player, there we go, he just does it. Ken calls instantly.
Snap call.
Ken's like, I got it. No, you don't, Ken. Not this time. Finally, Ken is chopped down a little bit. So when someone takes that long, looks upset in this spot, and then moves in, they always have it.
Do you think it's possible Ken didn't recognize that 7-8 got there as well?
It's
he was
possible.
just looking so hard for his straight to come in.
Yeah, it's totally possible. Because he called so quickly, as opposed to even thinking about, like, maybe I'm beat.
Yeah.
You know? He probably thought he was chopping.
Yeah. Or he maybe thought he was winning and Terminator had lost his mind or was doing that with a set or two pair.
Which we really know Terminator would not do, but Ken may not know that. Ken's going to have to look at that. Some of the armies are going to the other nation, the nation of Terminator.
Wow, you're really killing that. Well done.
You got to say it differently because it's cool. You know, it's a nation.
That must feel like a breath of fresh air for Terminator, who's just been destroyed by Ken for this entire session, and finally he gets him in just this bad spot and gets paid, honestly, a little bit too much.
Yeah, the miracle card came in for him too. He had a 3-outer to get all the pay.
Ken had to not only call on the turn, which was very ambitious, and then they both get there on the river, and then Ken completely overvalues his hand and snap calls.
Ken has to call, 3-outer, and then overvalue snap call.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of stuff has to happen, but it all did. And Terminator now feeling good. Ken still with over 5,000 in front of him, but
still a great session.
But that's a major.
It
got chopped down pretty significantly.
Yeah, that's a big chunk of change.
Terminator had 1,200 there on the river.
Yeah.
Ken lost probably 1,400 in that pot or so.
Yeah. Nobody likes that.
Nope. Joseph going to raise it up with the very reasonable ace-9, even though Grant hates that play.
That's not true. Batiste just folds queen-jack.
Terminator calls with the ace-jack on the button. I like it. I feel like everyone's got reasonable hands. What's happening?
I don't know. Sometimes they get dealt reasonable hands by accident.
Yeah.
All right, we got gut shots for Terminator and Snuggie.
Yep. Nothing for Joseph.
Backdoor.
Will he continue? Yeah, it's true. He's got 2 backdoors. He could continue. It's fine just to check, especially on this board against these players. He does check. Safe card here. Anyone could take a shot here.
Joseph looks like he's loading up. It's probably going to work, right?
What's Joseph repping? I guess we've seen Joseph even check top pair, but if you were Terminator or Snuggie, what would you think Joseph had?
I think he has something like Jack 10 a lot of the time.
Jack 10, 2 jacks.
Yeah.
Almost never top pair, right?
Yeah, that's true. Terminator does call. I wonder if he's planning on making a move if he misses. Or thinking he's good, because he is good.
I mean, if it goes check, check, Terminator's going to be super happy. Yeah.
Well, that's the brickiest brick.
Let's see if Joseph decides to bet. You would think Terminator doesn't have a king, can have a 10. Joseph just checks because I guess he's worried about Terminator having a 6.
He's just hoping that Terminator is queen jack, you know?
Yeah. Terminator's often going to bluff queen jack on the river, though, and you probably can't call anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's a weird spot for Joseph. Like, is he going to turn his hand into a bluff on the river?
It was already a bluff.
Yeah, but once he's called by Terminator, he can actually beat some draws. It's a weird spot. So he's going to bluff out the draws and get called by the non-draws unless Terminator decides to be not sticky
Terminator
with
could
10.
fold a 10.
Right, that's the question.
Yeah.
If we can't get him off a 10, we can't bet, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if Terminator's really going to fold a 10 that often, if he has a reasonable 10, like queen 10.
Yeah, you're probably right.
So it's probably the right play by Joseph to check. Hope you're good, and hope Terminator checks back his worst hands so you get to win instead of get bluffed. Ken says, I'm Ken. I limp. It's suited.
Can win.
I'm going to win. I'm going to get it back. You'll all see.
Can win. Flops a 4, but action turn flops a 6.
Ken's going to win this hand.
Obviously.
Lock it up.
Count the money.
Snuggie with the backdoor flush draw. There's a bet, and Ken certainly going to call. It's just one of those chips. He's got so many of them.
He's like, Aaron, please keep putting chips in the middle, and eventually they'll come into my stack. Ace of hearts on the turn.
Aaron checks. Will Ken take a shot or not?
Well, that's what the board looks like.
Yeah, I guess he does check. And queen on the river. This is probably going to go check, check.
Oh, Aaron's turning his hand into a bluff.
He's trying to get... What's he trying to fold out?
A better 6, perhaps? But then
They're
but those are all
chopping.
chops, yeah.
Ken's going to call, it looks like, unless he's somehow getting a raise out.
Oh, he raised.
Oh, this is big time. Ken won this pot. This
Yeah.
was not like Ken got lucky. This was a big time play.
I think Aaron was blocker betting, and Ken just owned him.
I mean, it really looks like Aaron has a king, right?
Yeah,
And we can't call.
right.
Like, we can't beat anything at all when he bets the river, but it's hard for him to have a very strong hand. I love it.
Yeah.
Ken showing some moves, doing a little frickin',
Jiu-jitsu? Jiu-jitsu?
Hey, Macarena. It's the Macarena.
Oh, he's doing the Macarena.
Yeah, that's what he's got.
It's different than jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, but both of them, you can have some moves, in fairness.
Yeah.
to both the dance and the combat style.
Yes.
Vic loves to squeeze with a hand like this. I don't know if he's going to play it +1, though.
We've seen him play worse +1.
Well, he's going to play it. I guess you're right. We saw Jack 7 of hearts earlier on.
That was under the gun.
So, there you go. Worse.
Joseph with a hand that is legit to raise here over the limpers.
He does. I like it.
The Vig is going to, tax himself this time, I guess.
Probably. Action
it's-
Aaron probably going to
It's
find
only
the fold.
40. It's only 40. I guess
Oh.
once you put the money in, you kind of
Yeah.
are supposed to call. I thought it was 60.
Action Aaron even calls. He is closing the action. Maybe they should call him closing the action Aaron. That's cool.
That was sweet.
So
Well-
this is one of those, who wants it?
That's a horrible flop for 8s.
Does anybody want it?
Joseph's just going to protect, and it's just going to work. The problem is, of course, if he gets called, he's either losing or has massive equity against him.
Yeah.
But you kind of have to protect in this spot, I think. It's just a crappy spot.
Also, these guys are calling with such wide ranges, you just have to charge them.
Yeah.
You just have to, give him a chance to fold these hugely wide ranges rather than bluff you off your reasonable hand here. But yeah, you're right. As soon as they call, you sort of have to shut down, even though there are a million draws.
Although the 8 could
Well,
come and Jack 10 could get there and you can
yeah,
make a full house and you
that's
could be
true.
the happiest boy in the world.
You don't really have to shut down. Actually, you can bet the turn and shut down on the river. If anything, you'd kind of want Aaron to call you and not the Vig, so you'd be in position. You can check
You
back
can
the
bet the
river
turn,
easily.
especially if the draws miss.
Of course. Yeah, if
Yeah.
the draws come in, you're checking. Of course. But you can bet the turn once. You don't have to bet huge. You just want to make sure you charge them.
I thought it was going to be maybe a raise and take it, which is rare, but Batista has too good of a hand in the big blind. Got to defend.
Think about how often we've seen raise and take it in this game.
Not very often.
Almost never.
Terminator, by the way, changes his sizing to 30. He was Mr. 25 for so long.
Yeah. He got the double up, and maybe he feels like he's got a little more money to spend.
He was doing it when he had 4K in front of him, too.
Yeah, but now they got the double up. He might feel like he has a
Okay.
little more money to spend.
Whatever you're saying is very sensible. Terminator, obviously loving that card in the turn, and he
Yep.
checks it back quickly.
Makes top 2.
gonna-
Batista has enough showdown value he can just check.
It's going to be hard for Batista to call if Terminator bets, which of course he will.
Yeah. Only 40, and that is that. He's like, look, I had it. Batista loves that. He's like, look, I was ahead for a second and a half.
I'm the unluckiest. Somehow I did not win.
He's talking about the movie Pacific Rim Uprising right there. You can tell.
Oh, yeah?
It's like, how did they... That thing with the kaiju and the sword and the John Boyega.
Yeah. Was that CGI or was that real?
I think it was...
That's what he's asking.
What are they? It's like, I know in Planet Earth show they get such incredible footage, but this is like, how do they get those cameras? They're in so much danger all the time. It's impressive. They must have incredible helicopters or something.
Yeah. Really, really strong military helicopters.
Hey, guess what? Terminator's back to the 25.
Yep. And Ken's got a nice playable hand here.
Sure. He's
He's got
going
a
to three-bet
raise.
it.
Wow.
Ken is really showing us something here.
He 3-bets with a lot of frequency with these types of hands, especially Terminator. He just
Yeah.
keeps 3-betting Terminator. And
It's working out
Aaron
pretty well.
is going to smooth call the 3-bet with the
Well,
7-4 suited.
Action Aaron likes to play. We know this.
Yeah.
At least it's suited. We've seen him call with way worse hands than this.
Yeah. I mean, Ken does 3-bet light a lot, but geez.
This is probably not the greatest candidate for a flat.
Terminator's going to call with the price he's getting.
Sure.
And he
It
has
is-
by
it is-
far the best hand, and he knows it.
It is a great price. I'll say that.
Well, what is that? Is that
Top 2 for Aaron and the monster flop for Ken.
he has a straight flush draw and a straight?
You almost don't want to improve. You just like roll out king ace.
Oh, yeah.
2 red.
You have the nuts right now. The flush comes in. You're not the guy with the nuts anymore unless you make the straight flush.
Let's see if Aaron plays
And
it
Aaron,
faster. He's going
of course, is going to put in a raise,
to.
which is very reasonable.
Of course. Let's see how Ken decides to play it with the nuts. Is he going to put in the 3-bet right away or just call? Looks like he's going to just call.
I think I like a 3-bet a little bit better
me
because
too.
Aaron has a lot of 2 pairs and sets there. Maybe not 2 pairs, but he has a
And
lot.
look,
And
here's
Ken,
a scare card.
Yeah, it is a bad card for Ken, even though it improves him to a flush.
It's bad because, of course, action Aaron very unlikely to give a huge amount of action. Although there goes $500.
Wow.
Never mind. He's only got 800 behind now. But
So
if Ken makes a big play here, I mean, can he really call?
I don't know if Ken's supposed to call or ship it. Both seem reasonable to me.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Man, I am not sure. It's really, you could think it's possible Action Aaron also has a 5-6, and we want to make sure we get paid before the 4th spade comes, which is bad for both of us.
Right.
Or could be. I mean, you figure this: if we're beat, we're getting it in anyway, so we're not worried about that, right? We're just worried about Action Aaron being able to call. Ken does move in. Action Aaron being able to call this.
Does Aaron call? Oh, I thought Ken was going to turn it over. Yeah, this is a bad spot for Aaron now.
It is a very bad spot.
I mean, obviously we're losing.
Does call.
We're losing to all the flushes and straights. But Ken 3-bet. That's the thing that's maybe messing with Aaron here.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
Ken has to have the ace high flush, I guess, which is very possible.
Yes, that is possible.
Well,
That
Aaron has
makes a lot of
outs.
sense.
Let's see if Aaron can finally get lucky on somebody else.
We
for a
haven't
change.
seen it almost ever on this show. Aaron ever hitting a river. He continues.
And not that time either. We're going to get right back to that sweet, sweet poker time
man.
action.
So good.
Oh, man, I'm enjoying it. But before we do, we got to talk a little bit about the sponsor, Dash Digital Cash.
What is Dash Digital Cash, you may be asking? Well, that's what we're here to tell you, actually.
Yeah,
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, that's the reason this is being
That's
talked
what
about.
this is
And
about.
that's what's on the felt. It's a cryptocurrency, and it's an awesome cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more, you got to check out the video we made. It's a pretty good video, I got to say.
I know it is.
But basically the cliff notes are, it is extremely fast and extremely cheap to send. I'm talking 1 to 4 seconds. I'm talking a penny. Anywhere in the world, any amount of Dash. It's a revolution, really.
It's incredible. It has other pretty great traits as well. It's got things like private send, which allows you to send anywhere anonymously with like true cryptography behind it, which is pretty awesome. It has instant send, which not only sends things super fast, but makes it spendable instantly, which is perfect for merchant adoption like Target, Starbucks, Walmart, Amazon, things like that.
Name more brands.
I could, if I really wanted to, Whole Foods, that's Amazon.
There you go, you did it. Anyway, let's get back to poker time. Enjoy the action.
See Ken getting pushed to the pot, and all he does is eat chips for breakfast, man.
I mean, Terminator got him a little bit earlier, but after that pot against Aaron, he is back to being the destroyer of worlds. He might even have more now than he had before that pot against Terminator.
He does. He's over $7,000. He is, if things were to hold, and I say that,
I mean, there's another 20 minutes in the session. Anything could happen.
absolutely. But if things were to hold, he will be the biggest winner of all time on the show. Not that the show's been around for that long.
By a
Still
lot.
relatively young. By a lot, yeah. The previous biggest winners were like around 3,000, I would say.
I don't
Something
know,
like
man. I
that.
think we've had a lot of variants where people just don't get big wins. Like, I remember our first session when Batiste got really lucky on Action Aaron
Yeah.
and then gave it all to Wonka. And Wonka was up like 2,500, and that was maybe the biggest win.
Really? It seems impossible. But our last crazy session, which was amazing, somehow no one really was up that much. But here we go. Finally Ken is here.
Yeah.
And when Ken is here, Ken will drink your beer.
Worlds get destroyed.
And then he will kill everything.
I like your rhyme, by the way. It's
Yeah.
good. When Ken is here, Ken will drink your beer.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Daniel Plainview.
Exactly.
Daniel Plainview and There Will Be Blood.
I drink your course. It's like that.
Yeah. He didn't name a milkshake brand, dude.
I know. But
There's
it's funnier to be more specific.
No, that's not how you should. Stay canon, bro.
Stay canon, huh? All right, we have a hand, by the way.
Nobody really has anything.
Batista's going to bet here.
Got the backdoor flush draw and the gut shot, and he can rep a king. It's a good bet. The question is Snuggie feeling sticky?
Sluggy has a pretty good hand. He's out of position, which sucks.
He's going to have a lot of trouble cards. Like a jack, he could lose on a jack,
Yeah.
Batiste would make a full house a fair amount of the time on the jack. Not all the time, obviously, but it's not a great time to chase a gut shot.
It is perfectly fine to just give up here, and Snuggy does.
Yeah,
That's
I think
reasonable.
that's a good fold.
Yeah.
I think it's a good bet by Batiste as well.
Snuggy could have betted himself, but once he checks it, he probably just has to give it up when Batiste decides to bet it. That tight aggressive style works for Batiste that time.
Yeah, it's weird to be calling Batiste tight aggressive. If
Yep.
you go back to our Poker Time archives, all 4.5 months of them, or however long we've been doing this for now.
All right.
Batiste was one of the more aggressive players early on, but the lineup is a little bit too loosey-goosey for him to just open up the floodgates of hand selection.
When you say aggressive, you mean like wide range,
Yeah,
right?
wide range.
Yeah.
He was always taking aggressive actions with that wide range.
Sure.
Unlike some of these other players who are passive with their wide ranges, but he's
Absolutely.
always putting the pressure on people.
Snuggie going to play the ace-3 off. I think that's more snug tilt.
Yep.
Tilt snug.
Tilt snug.
And Joseph is going to play the 8-4 suited. I don't know what's going on, man. This is not what we see from Joseph. Joseph's really changed it up for this session. That's just the deal.
Joseph, what happened is in, I think it was 1997, Joseph invested a lot in Enron and told himself, I'm not looking until 2018. And today was the day he looked, and he got the bad news, you know?
Yeah. By the way,
so he's on tilt.
Vig makes a huge 3-bet to 150. Well, I don't know if it's huge, but it's big-ish.
It's big, and it's going to work.
With a hand that plays pretty well as a call on the button against these guys' normal ranges, but it's fine.
We've seen the Vig do that with King Queen multiple times in this session now.
Yep.
He is often squeezing with that hand where most players feel very comfortable calling and seeing a flop.
The Vig's won every time.
It's worked every time, but the problem is when you get action, it's usually not a great situation.
That's true. Like, if Snuggie calls, Snuggie's got reasonable pocket pairs and a lot of good Broadway, which often has you beat. Snuggie's rarely going to have King Jack when he calls, right?
It's the Vig has what Christian Soto would call a merged 3-betting range, where he's taking hands that are a little bit too playable to 3-bet because you're only getting action from better hands, but you want to play the hand anyway, and using them as 3-bets.
That's fair. He does have, every time, though, I notice when he's 3-bet, he's always had a blocker in his hand.
Yeah.
Like, he's always had a king or an ace 100% of the time.
Yeah, or sometimes he's had a pocket pair that he doesn't want to see multi-way action with.
Okay, fair enough.
Which is, that's not a bad range to choose, obviously.
Yeah. You're going to be more effective. It's going to work more. And it has worked, as we see. I think he's only even been called once. I guess Terminator did limp re-raise him once. But that's it. I mean, interesting and different style than what we're used to on Poker Time, so it's nice to see that.
Yeah. The Vig limps, Terminator limps.
Ken's like, I'm going to win, right?
Ken's going to win the hand. Even though he's dominated in 2 spots, he'll find a way. Maybe not. I don't know. It's going to be tough.
The snug gets top pair. He checks it.
Terminator has a gut shot. No, he doesn't.
No one else has anything. Snuggie still by far the best hand, but Ken is going to take a shot.
What's with us and misreading gut shots when Terminator has 6-3?
It's really weird.
Well,
I was so sure he had a double gutter when he absolutely didn't.
I don't think Ken's going to be able to get this one through.
Let's see if Ken takes another shot on the river if he bails right away. Snuggie could have diamonds. Ken does take a shot.
I don't think Snuggie's going to be interested in folding.
No, I agree.
And he already called.
Yep. He's like, show me how I lost.
Yep.
It's like, oh, I didn't lose? Look at Terminator just looking at his
It's like, what, Ken lost? What happened?
It's very confusing to everyone. Snuggie's kicker did not even play there. I like that he just called.
Oh,
I like the call in turn, and I like the call in the river.
Absolutely. I think Snuggie played it well.
Yep. Once he checks the flop, anyway. I think betting the flop's pretty reasonable, but once he...
I think it's fine to check the flop as well, though.
It's fine, but it's okay to bet it, certainly. But
what?
But he got Ken with his hand in the cookie jar.
We're not the people who end sentences like that, Jonathan. We're professionals. So...
Yeah, I saw that one coming.
Yeah.
I got to tell you.
It's pretty obvious.
I hope everyone else did, too. Terminator, is that a 3-bet?
No, just a call.
Okay. Wonka would be horrified. Joseph's going to have a very easy call unless he decides to put in a 3-bet and turn his hand to a bluff, which is reasonable.
Yeah, if you get called, you have reasonable equity against a lot of that range.
Looks like he's going to do that.
I love ace wheel 3-bets. Those are fun.
I know. You sit there, you're like, just fold. Come on.
I think it's going to work.
Well, when that one gets through, Terminator could decide to be sticky. Clearly, Snuggie will not be. Snuggie called with $30 with the 9-4 off, by the way.
I think Terminator would call with King 10 suited, but not offsuit.
I think you're right. That's probably correct to do.
You could fold King 10 suited also.
Get to be in position.
Yeah, it's a pretty big 3-bet.
It is a pretty big 3-bet. See if Joseph shows the 5 or something.
Nope. He's not much of a shower, which I think we both appreciate.
Yeah, he did show that 7 deuce.
He did, but how could you not? You get the 7 deuce through. You got to show the 7 deuce.
I mean, I don't know if you're being sincere or not.
I am being almost sincere.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, if you're not a shower, you're not a shower.
True, but it's 7 deuce, man.
I don't know. If I got the 7 deuce through and showed it, I'd be less inclined to 3-bet the ace-5 suited in the big blind, you know?
I don't know. People often make
Yeah.
extra assumptions about stuff and be like, well, of course he's not going to do it without it next time.
Yeah.
It works both ways.
It's been a while since
Yeah.
that 7 deuce hand. People may not even remember it.
Snuggie is
Been a
going to
few
play
hours.
every hand for a while, I guess.
Yeah, Snuggie's feeling it.
He won that pot against Ken. He's like, all right, spinning it up.
He's going to flop best.
That's a good flop for Snuggie.
Turner's going to check.
Snuggie, it looks like he's going to bet. I don't know if there's a ton of value in betting.
Well, he could be betting off hands like ace-9 and stuff, but usually he's only betting out 3 outs.
Yeah. Terminator is usually going to continue or call with his overs and gut shots or open-enders.
Yeah.
And if Terminator had a pair of 9s or worse, he's just going to fold, which is a problem for Snuggie.
He's not 100% going to fold. It is a wet board. He could decide to call once.
He folded 6s very easily.
That's true. That's a good point.
And he's going to call with his better 10s. So,
yes, of course he is. He's often going to bet his better 10s.
Yeah.
The thing is, Snuggie, you usually have the best hand.
Right, but I just don't see a lot of value coming from that bet.
You protect a little bit,
Yeah, I guess.
charge a little bit. It's okay just to take the pot down.
True. Although I think with like the hand Terminator has, he's more likely to hero the turn than the flop.
Agreed. Well, there are a lot of cards which are just going to kill all action for everyone, right? And then it could get stolen from you. Any ace, king, queen, club is going to be really hard for you to continue to play on as Snuggie.
Meanwhile, we have a flop here where Joseph gets the nut flush draw. The Vig has a gut shot. Not much else.
Yeah, that's all. Let's see if the Vig doesn't want to play it. I don't see how anyone else is going to. Unless Snuggie is really on tilt. Nope. Shows the 8 of spades.
If you just had the old 6 of spades with it, I don't think he would be folding.
That'd be a tight fold.
Yeah, it'd be
I'll say that.
considerable. It's a paired board.
Yeah,
Jonathan.
that's true. Hey, he folded the king 10 of diamonds earlier.
Oh
in this
yeah, that I
session.
forgot about that hand. Wow, that was unsnuggy like.
Yeah, I would say so. Unsnuggy like indeed, and it cost him a huge pot.
Yeah.
To be so unsnug, non-snug, a-snug.
A snuggicle.
Exactly. All right, Ken, see if he's continued to really play in a lot of hands here, if he actually has a normal under-the-gun type range.
Both could be true.
Yes.
Is Joseph going to 3-bet again? No, it's just a call. The Vig makes a surprising
Wow.
fold there.
Would not have
That's
thought
not,
that was
not the way
happening.
he's been playing. It might be a locking it up scenario. I think he's in for 1,500.
Oh, maybe.
And he's up, and he knows the session is coming to a close.
Joseph flops top pair. We don't know what Ken has. Ken is going to continue. This is fun. As Joseph, we have a very clear call.
Yep. Can easily have us beat, but we can't just fold.
We have to call flop, and we have to call a lot of turns.
Yeah, maybe not clubs. Maybe not.
Broadway clubs for sure we can fold.
Yeah.
Probably even most clubs we can consider folding. Joseph, you cannot just let this go. I know
If-
you let go of that other hand that one time with the queen jack, but come on.
If a 10 comes and Ken
No!
bets again. Oh.
No.
I guess we don't know what's going to happen.
Wow.
Yowza. That's a tight fold.
I mean, it's so easy when you're running good like Ken and everyone is letting you run over the table, which we've seen a few times now, right?
Yeah.
People just get out of Ken's way for the most part. I don't know. I don't understand. It's only $80. You have top pair. What's the problem?
Well, he doesn't want to lose more money.
Huh.
I think that's what he's thinking.
The gambling game, man. You're going to lose sometimes. I don't know. Like, you can decide to fold later. Anyway, Snuggie's got to be a blind raise there.
Yes, it is. That is a blind raise.
Batiste is going to only call with the 5.
That's a bit of a surprise. Maybe it's not a blind raise.
It has to
I thought
be.
it was.
It has to be.
I don't know why it says 3-bet. But that's like a software malfunction of some type.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting corrected.
5 to call. Okay, whatever. So nobody flops anything, except Ken flops bottom pair.
Well, it's probably going to... Batiste decides just to try and win this pot right away.
Probably gonna work.
Well, not yet. Is Ken raising?
Just calling. Wow,
Yeah,
I really
calling
thought
80.
that would work. I mean,
It still might work.
This
but
is
it's-
just Ken flying high, right?
How can Batiste continue in
he
that
can't.
card?
That's the worst card in the world.
Ken
he just
checks
has
it
to
back.
give up.
Well, no, he could turn this hand into a bluff right now, like he sort of was on the flop anyway. But it goes check. Batiste is not going to be happy.
Can we? We
There
gotta look
it
at the
is.
face.
Look at the anger. Look at the sadness. Maybe change your jacket sometimes. I don't know. Maybe that would help things.
Why are you so critical of the denim jacket?
I love
man?
making fun of the
That's
denim.
his style.
That's why I like making fun of it. Batiste is a very nice guy who is fun to make a little bit of fun of. He makes those faces a lot and stuff. It's very funny, and he always wears denim.
And he always needles us.
Yes, he's pretty into the needling.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're ever playing a turn with him where there's rebuys and you're rebuying, he will make sure the whole room knows it. It's like,
If you're his friend.
yeah, of course. No,
He's not going to do it with some random guy.
Right, he's
No.
not doing. It's not. It doesn't come from a mean place. Looks like we have a misdeal. It comes from like a friendly place, but he will absolutely make sure. Like we have a friend, Rob, and
Brewer. He's played on a couple of these.
That's right. He actually won the tournament.
Yeah.
That we showed for 20,000 on this show, and we were playing some Six Max tournament, and I think Robbie Brewer bought in like 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, $300 tournament.
Every single time he stood up, I was sitting next to Batiste. He was on my left the entire tournament. He said, "Rebuy Robbie," as loud as he could, and
Yep.
really kind of rankled
Yep.
Mr. Brewer there.
Yeah, Brewer didn't like that so much in the end.
But the point is, like, Batiste likes to give it out, so we're always going to give it back to him, and we get to do it publicly. It's great.
I just don't think you or I is a qualified
Wow.
person to judge style in any way.
And yet,
Here we are.
have you seen that guy? What's
I
with
don't
the denim, bro?
What's with your puffy shirts, bro?
They're stylish. I saw it on a TV show.
You sure did.
Let's get to the hands, though.
All right, we got a 5 for Snuggie, and that's it.
This is probably going to check through a lot here. Nope, Snuggie's going to bet. It's going to be surprising if it's not over. Even Ken doesn't try and win that one.
Look at that stack in front of Ken.
$7,000 worth of chips.
It looks so nice. I want to be part of that.
I think Ken needs to make bigger towers, you know? Those things are taking up too much. You need to go up in the air, like skyscraper that.
Well, not everybody is like Jason Mercier of 10 years ago, who notably practiced chip stacking at home.
Did he do that?
Yeah, that was like one of the EPT side features, talking about how he would practice stacking huge amounts of chips at home.
Why would he do that?
Because he knew he was going to have huge amounts of chips in every tournament he played for like the next 4.5
Well,
years.
that was correct.
Yeah.
Ken says, well, obviously I have to play. I guess it looked like an ace-10 there.
It did.
Oh, no,
that was
Snuggie.
Snuggie with the ace-10.
Interesting. So Ken, I think, has so many chips that like they're blocking the RFID reader. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, but I think they are, though. I think
Yeah.
there's nowhere to put his chips, and he can't get his cards
So
in
you
there.
gotta get bigger with it. Anyway, Batiste with the best hand.
Snuggie with the backdoor nut flush draw. But I don't think that's enough to continue.
No, probably not. Especially when you're out of position. Looks like it's going to be a small one for Batiste. Snuggie hasn't thrown it away yet, actually. Look at this. Snuggie just says, I can't take it anymore, man.
We know that Snuggie likes his 2 backdoors. We've seen him play a lot of hands like this, but this is not one of the backdoors coming in.
Batiste checks it back. I'm surprised, actually. That felt like a pretty clear bet.
To charge the draws, the flush draws.
And even worse, kings.
Oh,
Wow.
Batiste just checks back the river.
Batiste must have felt he had a read on Snuggie. He was wrong that time,
Yeah.
but we've seen him do things that are really unconventional when he has a read. He's almost always right, by the way, when he makes those reads.
Yep. I guess that's episode 1 of Batiste being wrong on the read.
Well, you know what? He was wrong in a small pot where he wasn't going to get more action anyway,
Yep.
so it's kind of a great time to be wrong.
Yeah, well done.
But
Gotta
I'm
pick your time.
surprised he didn't bet the turn. But I'm often surprised, not often, I have been surprised many times by his actions, and they're almost always weirdly right.
Yes.
So I feel like you got to give him credit, even though he got that one incorrect.
Vig's got a nice hand under the gun here.
Yeah. Terminator says, well, I have clubs.
And there's 6 and deuce. And Ken has 7 deuce. Come on, Ken.
Ken, you had him dominated.
What's he doing folding that?
Snuggie.
Snuggie knows.
Snuggie's got the domination hand. Joseph with pocket 3s. I guess he just has to play this to set mine. It sort of sucks.
You
but
definitely have to set mine here. I mean,
Also
you can also 3-bet, but set mining is
Right.
a reasonable play for sure.
Yeah. You got already all these players in. You have players who are often going to pay you off.
Batiste feels priced
Wow.
in with the Jack 4.
That is correct. Both cards are alive. And Terminator flops best with a 6.
Yeah, I suppose that is the case.
Joseph does have a gutter, but it's a bad gutter. Would be good if it hit.
Terminator betting 110 with the 6.
Okay.
It's probably just going to get through.
Yeah, I don't see how Joseph can call with all these people behind him and kind of a weak hand where you almost there's no good cards for you really. You hit a set, someone makes a straight. You make a straight, someone can have a better straight very easily.
Yep.
You're out of position, it's hard to get paid. You just got to let it go.
Batista's considering it with bottom pair, but not quite good enough.
Yeah.
And the Vig, I don't know. He's doing his thing where he takes more time than he needs to, I guess.
Yeah, he has 2 back doors and 2 overs, but he's going to correctly let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, he could decide to float out of position, I guess, and then but then he's gonna have to make a play for it on the river a lot.
Well, I don't see any way Ken's going to not have a monster win at this point.
I mean, he could absolutely double up one of the other really big stacks, which is mostly Batiste, right?
Yeah,
I guess
Batiste has quite a bit.
if Terminator's got 3K in front of him, if Terminator doubles through him, that would do it. Like, what if Ken picks up aces here and makes top set when Terminator makes a straight? That would do it.
That could happen. 40 from Terminator. Ken he's dominated, but he's going to win.
Very pretty hand. We saw both a queen and a 10 get folded.
Like, guaranteed Ken's going to hit a 10, right?
How about just clubs? Can he hit clubs?
I'll take a 10. You take clubs.
You're going to win more often than me. Oh, but okay, I'll take clubs.
No.
You still have you're still more likely. Hey, I'll definitely take clubs.
And he's got the gut shot also.
And he just checks it right back. And
And
there's the 10.
then he hits the 10.
How does he check back the turn with all the outs?
So
he just checks again. Maybe he feels bad.
Maybe.
I mean, he wasn't going to get any action anyway, but...
So who wins the bet, me or you? Because he didn't actually hit clubs. He had hit a club draw,
yeah.
And then he did hit a 10. I think
you win.
I win.
You win. You said 10.
That was for 500?
5,000.
Okay.
But 5,000 what? We'll tell you after this break.
5,000 dash?
We'll tell you after this break. That's a lot. 5,000 dash.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
I would like to win that.
A lot of money. If you translate that to U.S. dollars right now, that's something like $2 million US. Seems like more than I like to spend on a bet.
Well, you shouldn't have made the bet then.
Yeah, no,
hey,
you're right.
Snuggie has aces, and I'm being told this is the last hand of the session.
Oh, so sad.
It's been so fun.
Yeah.
Let's see if Snuggie can get eke a little more money out of this thing, because he's had a rough road so far.
Yeah, he has. Terminator is going to defend reasonably.
Going to give some action. All right.
On the last hand of the night.
Snuggie could just lose 1.3K here if things go poorly. Well, that's one of the flops that could happen on. Although queen and a jack out there, maybe Snuggie doesn't put it all in by the river.
Maybe. It looks like, I mean, Terminator should decide to call. It looks like he may not even do that. Oh, wait. He's going to call. Well, a 9 would be a disaster for Snuggie, but.
Well, it's an upside down 9.
He's safe there. This is going to do it if Snuggie decides to bet again.
Oh, he just checks it back. Another shot for Terminator.
It's a miss.
But the jack is going to kill Snuggie's desire to bet. It's not like he was going to get called anyway.
Yeah. He is going to bet. That's going to do it. And we will see you next time on Poker Time.
It's been a fun one, guys.
Yeah.